Beneath the beautiful landscape, serene vegetation, and even in the walls of houses lurk pests that are harming our flora and fauna, impacting our productivity and damaging our homes. In essence, these pests are slowly destroying our environment. These are invasive alien species, or IAS, the greatest threat to biodiversity in Fiji. Invasive species are organisms that are not indigenous or native to a particular country. Very often, they enter the country illegally by being smuggled in or through products that fail detection. Invasive species can cause economic and environmental harm, threaten human health, and even devastate entire ecosystems.
Every country has their own unique system, and the island countries are particularly important in that respect. And Fiji is clearly not an exception. Fiji has a unique, we can say, ecosystem. Certain species that you can only find here, and you want to preserve it for future generations. But importantly, there is a link with livelihoods associated with the ecosystem that we live in, and we want to make sure that our livelihoods are also sustainably used and protected.
The Biosecurity Authority of Fiji, BAF, with the help of Global Environment Facility, GEF funding, and the support from the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has embarked on a project to combat IAS threats and the destruction these IAS are causing in Fiji. Protecting the country from IAS through improved pre-border, border and post-border systems for the prevention of IAS establishment is one key element of the project.
Our role is to protect Fiji or agricultural sector from any incursion or introduction or spread of exotic pest and disease. So the important role that we play, we ensure that biosecurity measures, biosecurity requirements are met. If not, if this pest or disease are able to pass our border and are going to establish, it will cost a lot of money to contain, control and eradicate.
There are many parameters to security and protection of our biodiversity that is something that needs to be taken into consideration when we are implementing a project related with biosecurity.
Developing a national plan to combat this problem has been growing progressively.
The project originated back in, started in 2015 in terms of the project implementation framework to address invasive alien species that are a threat to Fiji, those who are existing in Fiji and those that are exotic to Fiji. So for Fiji to come up with a national plan to address invasive alien species to better protect Fiji's biodiversity, the environment, and also plants and animals. And thus the GEF Invasive Alien Species project was started in May 2018. And since then there has been activities carried out by the project in terms of addressing policy and legislation gaps involving stakeholders to come together at the national level to be able to assist in the invasive alien species management in Fiji.
Additionally, the project aims to improve IAS prevention and surveillance operations at the island levels to reduce potential pest species entering and establishing within maritime islands and movements between these islands. One such IAS is the giant invasive iguana, or GII.
Now on the Fiji front, there's a lot of invasive alien species in Fiji. But the glaring one that this project is trying to address is the invasive iguana, the giant invasive iguana currently present in Gamea, Matangi, Lothal Island, On occasions they appear in Tavuni Island. The project has a particular component for that work to carry out the eradication of the giant invasive iguana.
We are working on this island of Ngamia, and not all the places are flat and easy to go through. We have various kinds of landscape. Sometimes when we approach the GII, before we reach them, we escape.
Itu ngomete mungkin itu lecin kapanga menpau, doangan itu pudni tatumike. Ngomtel nga sember kina wangka, sember kina ni vaya ataki. Wabina sara metoboto kwa sala utungo. Sekarang libuna training. Ngona kitu mena nomu kilansana. Bukan nomu banggara. Pakeda mena nomu kilansana. Kitu dolo telang mendo amok elore mendo senionia. Tombale taki. Ngono go sara oro sati ko wanga. Wabina kena pante kina project mo.
We have accomplished few trainings that the management sees fitting to equip them. Mental, and we have this fitness training, and we also have some sets of skills training. This include OHS, working at heights with rope access. This was conducted by the National Fire Authority.
Nabi tamata ke dengar tike, nabi wanga ke dike. Persakilato ni non rabono New York, nabono ni manuena. Erantu papa dengu tu hakim. Oto kitu niki tunggi lak ngani bango. Itu sarida nga nabono erantu unta botu hakim. Esengata ni bisa ulah non renta unta. Entongan nabono erantu mi pasisi ka tu hakim. Itu sarara bikitu tu lak ngani bango sardusia. Ya, dua ya. Tu batu ya nani tundu spot tak kena manu. Kena karo nakal. Na kaile kala green. Na katanga ni orange. Ko yang dua wa vivu kibikitu na reda.
If we see the female, these are the GIs that we need to catch them first and try to eliminate them, because they are the ones that reproduce. For males, we always looking at ways that we can maintain them, because they always help in attracting the females during the mating season. We have search patterns that we always talk about, and we always try to implement while out in the field, like 5 meters apart, and then we walk a straight line to the left, to the right, and when we reach the end of the site, then you take a walk 5 steps aside, then you come down again. That's the search pattern, because these species of reptile, as we know, they are very good in camouflaging, and if they are lying on the grass, you can hardly see them, unless if we carried out the search in that pattern.
Through collaboration with the Fiji Police and Military Force, the JEF 6 IAS project has had its temporary officers, TBSO, undergo and successfully complete firearms training. These TBSOs are now licensed to use air rifles and able to further assist with the eradication of the GII.
The use of air rifles is more efficient than manual hunting methods.
Engkali satu kina, nggak dola, load, kok, warna sar. Kesa tosu namo ko kenro vito, tosu chunga, lebo chuku. Dona bulu ngangori, nangga nroli soto benakin.
We've enlisted the support of the police, Fiji police force, because of the fact that they provide license, the use and carry of firearms. They provided us with an import permit to import the air rifles, and their knowledge and experience.
Our main role in this training is the utilization of our armor to come and train this TBSO, or the temporary biosecurity officers, on the use of the basics.
Gun safety, 12 golden rules. Rain safety, patana hunting safety. Siya ni matata viko, endo na ka. Ito may mata mo siya pa na. Ano? Kuha ni pa na.
What we've learned that safety for the human lives is of paramount, and we will only use this when we feel it is right to use. It is safe to use.
We have issued 2 licenses for 1 firearms, so that they work in a buddy system. So their safety is paramount to us, and we don't want them to misuse the use of firearms.
Capacity building and sound partnership plays an important role in ensuring the project's sustainability.
Well, partnerships are important for any project, because there's hardly any program or project that we do, or anyone, any other agency would do, that doesn't require bringing together different sorts of partners and building different sorts of partnerships around. This is a particular project that is a multi-partner, so it requires the engagement of the various specialized authorities.
Yes, very important for the project is to build and strengthen the linkages to the partners. This work, which is been implemented by the Biosecurity Authority of Fiji, and Biosecurity Authority of Fiji cannot do it alone. We need to really partner with the government agencies, relevant government agencies who can assist directly with invasive species management in Fiji, and also the private sector in terms of the NGOs, who do work with invasive species and conservation of environment and biodiversity. Very important to build partnerships. As we all know, that the project has start and an end. After the project, any project that comes into Fiji, the sustainability really lies with the national level government agencies to take the work beyond the life of the project.
BAF's mission is to protect Fiji's unique biodiversity and facilitate international trade to and from Fiji. Each of us will work together to protect Fiji, our people, our environment, our plants and animals, our livelihoods, and our unique way of life for the benefit of our families, our visitors, and our future generations.
We cannot effectively operate in isolation. So if they are traveling abroad and returning to the country, they have to ensure, same as other visitors that are arriving into the country, not to bring in any regulated item, and not to try to smuggle in anything that can have a detrimental effect on our environment and biodiversity.
The economy really is based on the ecosystem Fiji has, the tourism industry, agriculture. These are all the fisheries. These are all sectors that heavily rely on the biodiversity. So protection of it is of vital importance, and I really want to emphasize, especially in the times that we are all going through now.